Major funding for this program is provided by grants from HSH Nordbank and First American Title Insurance Company of New York, Perfect Building Maintenance, Allied Partners, Murray Hill Properties, Bank of America, SJP Properties, GREENBERG TRAURIG. Additional funding for this program is made possible by grants from Arbor Realty Trust, BRT Realty Trust, Burden LLP, C.B. Richard Ellis, City Habitats, City Investment Fund, Cushman & Wakefield, Eastern Consolidated, Essex Capital Partners, James D. Kuhn Real Estate Institute at Syracuse University, MASSEY KNAKAL Realty Services, Meridian Capital Group, McSam Hotel Group, Muss Development LLC, Newmark Knight Frank, Palin Enterprises, Rosenthal & Rosenthal Inc., Signature Bank, Sidney Fettner Associates, Studley, Stonehenge Partners, SWIG Equities, Extreme Contracting and Deconstruction.
Hello, my name is Michael Stoller, host of the Stoller Report, Real Estate Trends in the Tri-State Region. I love shopping. My wife loves shopping more than me. And we sometimes, and quite often, shop in Long Island. Because Long Island has a lot of shopping. It's a different type of shopping. They have Walmart, they have Costco, they have BJ, they have CVS. Okay, today I have the guys who really know what's happening in Long Island shopping. My guests are Ed Blumenfeld, President of Blumenfeld Development, Kenny Breslin, President of Breslin Development, and last but not least, Robin Ezrapour, CEO of Sutphin Properties. I didn't screw it up. So what's going on? You, how many years have you been developing in Long Island, Mr. B?
Retail the last 12, 13 years. But I want to contradict you. Long Island does not have an abundance of retail. Contrary to that statement, if you look at the per capita, the stores per capita of people, we have less than the national average.
Since you open your mouth on this, why do we have less? I'll let the other guys or you make a little comment.
Well, I think everybody will agree with me. The toughest problem in expanding that base is entitlements or approvals from the local communities. Remember, Long Island is fortunate enough to have 600 taxing, zoning municipalities, or fiefdoms, if you want to call them that, and we have to go through a lot of approval process.
But wait, Long Island has a stable population, right? I mean, how many years has you and your family been in retail in Long Island?
Over closing on 50.
50 years, okay? You know, Levittown is having its 60th anniversary this month. You know, they created all that housing in Levittown. You know, there are other items. There's a big population. There's a working population. And Eddie is saying right now there's not enough retail. 50 years, what's going on?
It's clear. You know, we've been involved on what is supposed to be the 7th regional mall site for the last 30 years out on the expressway at exit 68, the William Floyd Parkway. And we've done a lot of market studies in that time. And one of the one that stands out in my mind was the study that said with a population base of close to 2.7 million, I think it's more than that now, how many regional malls are there typically with that kind of population if you were in a place in anywhere in the country? And the answer from the International Council of Shopping Centers was you'd have 16 or 17 regional malls. On Long Island, we only have really 6, but some people say 7 regional malls. So we were the last also to get a lot of the general merchants to hit the island. You know, Walmart and Kmart only recently found the island. We started the Kmart program in the late 80s, and they hit the island in about 89, I think, or 90. So it's a relatively new thing, and while there's lots of stores that you see, there's not a lot of first-class shopping on the island.
Why wouldn't they? Okay, your exit 68, you said, on the expressway and the William Floyd Parkway?
Correct.
There are a lot of people over there. You know, why would the towns, it creates jobs, right? Employs people. Construction. Why are the towns so stupid? I don't care.
We could talk.
My show is over there. I mean, people need to shop. Okay, they have to go to the supermarket. They need clothing. Why are these towns
First off, the towns are not stupid. Do you agree with that, Eddie?
Then who is it?
The towns are not stupid.
I'll tell you what it is. Every town has a percentage of the population that doesn't want something. That small percentage of the population that doesn't want the CVS, that doesn't want the mall, that doesn't want the bank, they get the ear of the local politicians.
Tell me the story. We were talking prior to the show about the turtles. I think that's an interesting topic.
Well, you could go to any hearing in any town and come up with somebody that's going to arrive and to try and stop a project. In one particular instance, there's an individual in a town that shows up and objects to every application, and I believe he's even shown up in this town and in opposition to somebody extending a deck or a porch on a house. He gets up, he addresses the council people or the town board people, opens his knapsack, and he places turtles on the desk and says, "You may be destroying the habitat of this creature, and you can't approve this project." And then he picks up his turtles and he goes home.
Now wait, you I called, okay, these are big developers, you're a specialty developer. You take a piece of property, you try to get it entitled, as we said, and basically you build a home for a Commerce Bank, a Bank of America, a CVS.
I'm a single tenant guy.
You're a single tenant guy. And you have the same predicament. Tell us a little bit about this.
One person in that town that doesn't want change can derail your project, or at least attempt to.
Look, it's a fact that Long Island has a lot of different towns, a lot of different zoning municipalities, and we have a group of people who are elected officials or in control of zoning that pander to their constituents and maybe not do what's right. And I'm not saying that every project that any developer comes in with is correct and should be, but a lot of things that do provide jobs, increase the tax base, provide a need in the community, should or could be approved. But if you get 3-4 people that stand on a street corner or complain, this public official panders to them. Now, Governor Pataki, before he left, passed a law that said anybody in New York State that is involved in the approval of any kind of land use transaction that works for a municipality has to take a continuing education course. Because we've had over the years, a lot of people get into a position where they're on a zoning board, where they're on a town board or a planning board to approve a project, and they have no idea what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do, what's correct, what's incorrect, because they've never taken a land use program in their life or been in the business.
Okay. So I hear that, but let's talk about development, what's happening. You're building what? You have this major development in partnership with Apollo, in partnership with Tanger. What are you building? Because you got approval. What are you building out in Long Island?
We're building a smart center, we call it a smart center, which combines entertainment, big box retail, off-price retail in the Tanger Outlet Center. And within that, we're building a high-end outlet center where we're trying to get the Madison Avenue type stores.
So
we want to
explain to my audience where this is, because I know that there are people who watch my show, who live in New York City, who take that bus from Manhattan, the working people, and they go out to Tanger Mall.
This is at exit 52. It's south of the expressway. Actually, it's off the Sagatos, and it's at the corner of Comac Road and Grand Avenue. It's an 80-acre site. It will be 800,000 square feet, and we will provide entertaining, interesting things for you to do for the whole day if you want to spend the whole day there.
And you have something called a Christmas tree shop.
We're bringing the first Christmas tree shop to Long Island. It's owned by Bed Bath & Beyond. They've been in New England for a number of years.
And it's not Christmas trees.
It's not Christmas trees. It's everything in a much lower price range that you'll see on Madison Avenue.
Is it outlet? I mean, is it basically buying?
It's off price.
It's closeouts. It's like
it's not closeout. Not closeout. It's made for them.
Okay, it's made for them, and they're selling. So you're going to have that, and then you're going to have this high end where you're going to have a Nordstrom's. Or
we have Neiman Marcus.
Neiman Marcus.
Neiman Marcus, TSC. I can't mention all the stores that we have, but we're 65% leased today and moving closer to the 80% by the end of the month.
And what are you doing these days? I know he has that, and he's been in there. What are you building? I mean, you're the king. You're the jolly, I don't want to say 800-pound gorilla, but you know, you're the guy out there, 50 years and all of this in Long Island.
Well, our recent projects were the renovation of the A&S building in Hempstead, which was 265,000 feet, anchored by Home Depot and Stop and Shop. We just finished in next to Republic Airport, Republic Plaza, which is Walmart, and 150,000 square feet. And interestingly enough, it's only about 4 miles north of a store they just opened at Sunrise Mall. Tells you the strength of the marketplace in Long Island. We're doing that. My company has a real estate brokerage arm that represents Starbucks and Wachovia Bank, among others, AC Moore. So we're playing dual roles. We are out representing clients and tenants, and we're also developing properties. Our big development right now is Exit 68 in the Expressway, and we're also looking up and working in Stonington, Connecticut.
So what are you going to be building hopefully one day on Exit 68? What's your plans?
The plan is 800,000 square feet of lifestyle center.
Okay, for my audience, I know what lifestyle is. What's lifestyle center? It's a little bit similar to Ed's Entertainment Center, or
a lifestyle center is what is really what people want to do with their spare time. It's what you want to do rather than what you have to do. What a traditional community center has a supermarket, and it's things that you have to tend to because that's your ordinary lifestyle things. You have to go to the supermarket, you have to go to you know, the hairstylist, etc. Whereas a lifestyle center are all those things that you always think, boy, what would I like to do on a Saturday afternoon if I had nothing to do?
Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory. I'd like to you know, shop at a Dick's Sporting Goods. I'd like to go to a Barnes & Noble and go shopping for books and sit down and read for a while. There's usually an athletic and a theater kind of component. But they've gone through an evolution.
Now, are you going to have the residential, like certain of these lifestyle centers, or is it going to be all retail?
No, it's all retail, and you know, there's been an evolution in lifestyle centers. Lifestyle centers, when they first came out, they were really, the parking was built all around them, and you'd walk and there'd be an inside plaza. Today, it's much more of an ebb and flow in the center. There's the traditional boxes, like Getty is building in Deer Park, where they really require a lot of parking right in front of their doors. And then in our project, there's a component in the middle, almost an island-like, that is the lifestyle component. So we have traditional retail, which is going to be surrounding a lifestyle component where people can walk in a plaza-type setting.
And as opposed to a mall, it's heated. I mean, the streets are heated?
These streets will not be heated.
Because I was in Cleveland at my first lifestyle center about a couple of years ago, and in the middle of nowhere, Cleveland, you know, it's Cleveland, I see this lifestyle center, and it's beautiful, and they will have an Apple store, and they have a Cheesecake Factory, and the movie theater, and the gym, you know, and, you know, the other small boutiques, you know, and, you know, then they have a CVS. So what are you doing? You're the king of little singles.
I'm doing half.
Besides him getting your Starbucks to go into one of your locations.
We are filling a couple of our sites with some Starbucks with Ken. But what I do is I supply a service to my tenants. I go out there and I hunt down the one corner, the prime A corner in any particular township that that my health and beauty aids tenant wants to be in, or a bank, or and that's what we're doing.
But you know, it's interesting. You know, when it's maybe you're the youngest of us over here. You know, he's younger. Okay, similar. Okay, I remember.
They're both too young.
Okay, fine.
Babes in the Woods.
Okay, Babes in the Wood. I remember, you know, the original health and beauty aids. You know, the drugstore. My former farm-lawyer, let him rest in peace, he had a drugstore. I mean, there was a drugstore. He had a pharmacy, you know, where they used to call him Doc. And, you know, you had the cosmetician, and you were 4,000 square feet. Now you have these, you know, with Walgreens. 13,000 square feet.
And
you
two drive-thrus.
And what do they need? The two drive-thrus? Do they get milk out of the two drive-thrus? I mean,
Drugstores today are a convenience store. You're not only getting your...
So they're like Milk Barn? They're like the Long Island Milk Barns?
Dairy barn.
Similar to.
Similar to, but more...
You get your Hallmark cards there. You get your cold drinks there. You have your pharmacy counter in the back.
Toys.
All toys. School supplies.
24/7? 7 days?
Some are 24/7.
Don't think that's not the reason that Dairy Barn has been on the market. That's really affected their kind of business. So...
What's happening? I remember, you know, because Eddie and I are closer in age, you know, when I used to have the friends who were in Long Island, they had these dairy barns. And, you know, basically they were milk and they were convenience. Are they still in Long Island? Or are they
I think there are a few.
There are, I'll tell you exactly, there are 48 of them. And
they were great.
They were great, but the evolution of retail it's been a tough road for them because of, you know, everyone's in the convenience business now. The drugstores are now a place where you can buy your cheese doodles, as well as your batteries and your...
well, you could buy milk, right?
You can buy milk.
Now, but what about this evolution? I mean, I didn't hear in your location. I do know, because David was on my show a couple of weeks ago, you know, what you had on 125th Street. Do you have any banks going into your places as tenants in some of these?
Yes, in a couple of places we have some pads that we're negotiating with banks.
You know, there are so many banks, all these branches. I mean, like Commerce Bank, Bank of America. I mean, how many bank branches do we need in Long Island? I'm not being facetious.
Well,
I know it's good for you and you to rent it, but...
You know, the bank's philosophy has become that they need a branch where you work, where you live, and in the Hamptons, let's say, where you play, in order to have your business. So for them to compete for your business, they need to have branches in all of those places.
It's interesting, but I think what Kenny was saying and what Ed was saying is, I think with a population, Long Island's 2.3 million?
No, it's close to 3, or it's a little over 3 today.
With 3 million
over
people,
3.
I think you need more. I mean, New York City is under retail, but it sounds like from you're saying, Long Island's under retail substantially.
Correct.
You know, you know, when Roosevelt Field, I think, is an example. Roosevelt Field has maybe too much retail. I mean, the roads are really terrible over there. I mean, would we consider Roosevelt Field, who is is that the largest retail complex?
I think it's bigger than
Smith Haven.
So I'm talking,
3 acres, maybe.
you know, I'm
bigger.
talking about, when I talk about Roosevelt Field, I'm not
3
only
acres
talking
is
about the
big.
Roosevelt Field Shopping Center. I'm talking about all the other shopping
Yes,
within the
yes,
area.
yes,
I
it's the
mean,
biggest.
the magnitude of, you know, if you take that and then you take the old Roosevelt Raceway, you have this
It really clogs up in the wintertime, in the holiday season, and that's a
how
problem.
was that approved? Okay, you know, you talk about there that you probably have 2 million square feet of retail?
Different.
2 million in Roosevelt Field itself is about 2.2.
And
was a
then if you
different
take
era.
everything else, you're probably 3.5 million.
Oh, you're more than that. Much
It was
more.
a different era, and it was different visions, and people didn't anticipate like they do today. But let's get one thing, I think, clear. Long Island is not unique to traffic. Traffic is everywhere in this country today. And as we grow, and as centers grow, not shopping centers, but centers of population, you have to contend with it. I mean, I've been in Dallas, and I'm trying to go 20 miles in from the perimeter to a certain place. It's the same hour and 15 minutes. Boca Raton to Palm Beach, or Palm Beach to Stewart, you have traffic. I mean, it's 22 miles from Boca Raton, Yamada Road, to Palm Beach, Okeechobee. It's an hour and 10 minutes if you go at 8 o'clock in the morning.
This past weekend, I was in Riverhead. We wanted to go out to Greenpoint, so I got off the highway, the Long Island Expressway, at about 12:30 on a Saturday afternoon, and I tried to go up 58 to get to Greenpoint. 1 mile. Okay, it took me 90 minutes to go from Manhattan to Riverhead. It took me 45 minutes to go 1.3 miles on 58, and every side road I couldn't go. It was either the pumpkin picking season, because after the Tanger Mall there wasn't any retail, with the exception of your type of
it happens.
CVS's.
Last night we came into the city. It took 28 minutes exactly because we timed it. Kenny and I drove in today. It took us an hour and 10.
Okay, so what kind of retail do you see, with all this population? Okay, you're talking lifestyle center, you're talking about a mixed-use center. I mean, with the people what do we see? You were talking that Long Island was provincial, that they didn't want to have Kmart's. Walmart's opened up when?
I think the first Walmart store was 97, something like that.
New York City's even worse. They won't allow any Walmart stores. I mean, but people want to go to the Walmart. Forget Kmart. I mean, what's existing is existing. You're not seeing any new Kmart's open up.
Correct.
You're not seeing any Sears. But we have the workforce people. We need this. We need this housing. What's moving open? What's opening? What kind of retail?
You're going to need the Walmarts, the Targets, the Kohl's to expand and become more accessible to more people. I think that we're going to head into a minor downturn.
So you think we're going to hit a recession?
I didn't say recession. You used that word. I don't use that word.
It's a prerogative of the host.
And I think people are going to be more value conscious, and they're going to need to access these type of stores. And in order for municipalities to exist, they're going to have to expand their tax base, and they're going to have to redevelop.
But you bring up a point. The municipalities, if you have retail, you have sales tax, you have real estate taxes. This is helping the municipality.
No question about it.
So why can't we have this? Now, you said before, prior to the show, you brought up the subject of immigration and the changes. Give me your opinion.
My opinion? My opinion is that immigration population, and we'll just deal with Long Island, is essential.
Our show is on Long Island.
Is essential to its viability. We need the people they come, they have great work, on the most part. Every barrel has a bad apple. Let's understand that. But you have people that come here to work. They'll give you an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. They buy products, goods, and services in the communities. In most cases, and there was a study done on this, and I'm at a loss for who did it, but that when they come in and they're able to buy housing or get housing, they establish communities and they become an active part in that community, because the house is their biggest asset, and it's the focal point of the family. We need people to do the jobs. We need them to spend the money. We need them to access our products and goods and services within the community, and to help pay the taxes.
Right.
Now they do pay the taxes.
Right, and we need the retail to take care of these people. I mean, you go out to Tanger Outlet Mall in Riverhead. A large number of these people are immigrants. You were saying prior to the show, what's the Costco and the BJ's? The same situation.
Well, I'm a Costco shopper, so.
So am I. we try both membership cards.
They have everyone. The island, one of the biggest problems that every retail client we have, once they finally get up and open after the entitlement process, is finding help to work in the stores. You know, they can't find enough help, and you know, therefore they are, you know, reticent to come with more stores. Excuse me.
Glad it just wasn't my phone.
Right, I would kill both of you.
We both lost the deal because
That's right.
Because we're easy guys.
No,
they
forget.
called me first and they couldn't get me, so now they were calling Kenny. With
No,
the
he was
deal.
going to put a Starbucks in one of them. But I mean, what do you see happening over the next couple of years with regard to retail? I mean, do you think you're going to get your zoning for the store in Exit 68?
Yeah, we have received conceptual approval, site plan approval, and we are in for building permits now. That could take some time, but
eventually it'll happen. What about you? I know you're involved with a number of developments. Do you see more and more of these freestanding? I mean, you know,
Absolutely.
It's like Starbucks over here. This is becoming the Starbucks of.
Michael, I'm not saying that the planning boards and municipalities aren't going to allow it. I'm just saying that it's a difficult road, and persistence, and we will conquer.
Do you see, do you see municipalities stopping the Walmarts and the clubs? You know, the BJ's and the Costco's.
I don't. Yes, but I don't believe for the same reason they stopped them in the city and the boroughs. I think, and I don't think it's Long Island. I think it's a nationwide phenomenon today where they want to reduce or get rid of the connotation of big box. And I've heard now on a number of occasions, if you get, I don't care the name of the tenant, but I don't want a box. I don't want 134,000 feet, make it 96,000 feet. Give me 255,000 foot tenants,
right,
not 110,000 foot tenant. I think that a lot of the people that we elected or have been elected and put into public service mean well, but I think that they have to come to understand that you cannot build anything that's auto-free.
Okay. I think that we got a lot of insight, you know, my 7th year of doing this type of show, and I really haven't had a show talking specifically about this type of retail and entitlements and, you know, getting things zoned and all of that. And I think we realize for my audience, including the guys who watch it in East Hampton, because that's one station, or on the internet, we have a good picture of what's happening with retail, and I hope that one day that you all come back to a different show when we can talk more about retail, but 30 minutes are up. I'd like to thank Ed Blumenfeld, Kenny Breslin, and Robert Ezrapor for being here, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Major funding for this program is provided by grants from HSH Nordbank and First American Title Insurance Company of New York, Perfect Building Maintenance, Allied Partners, Murray Hill Properties, Bank of America, SJP Properties, GREENBERG TRAURIG. Additional funding for this program is made possible by grants from Arbor Realty Trust, BRT Realty Trust, Burden LLP, C.B. Richard Ellis, City Habitats, City Investment Fund, Cushman & Wakefield, Eastern Consolidated, Essex Capital Partners, James D. Kuhn Real Estate Institute at Syracuse University, Massey KNAKAL Realty Services, Meridian Capital Group, McSam Hotel Group, Musk Development LLC, Newmark Knight Frank, Palin Enterprises, Rosenthal & Rosenthal, Inc., Signature Bank, Sidney Fettner Associates, Studley, Stonehenge Partners, SWIG Equities, Extreme Contracting and Deconstruction.